here's a country and it is governed by Islamic law. And like you're already putting that, like it's not like you're saying, so this country is governed by Sharia law and we're going to discover, and it's not like it's the tone.
Hey, are you fasting, bro?
Are we rolling? Lights off.
Let's go.
I have spent 5 days with you. It's been a blessing.
Thank you, man.
What is the most annoying misconception that you hear about Brunei?
I don't know, man. There was a lot of annoying things when we were doing our research about coming to this country. A lot of people, you know, they assume that a country that's centered around Islam, they take a negative approach to it.
Is that like the default?
Yeah, I think so. At least from what I saw. I don't know if it's a default or what, but I just like they like, here's a country and it is governed by Islamic law. And like you're already putting that, like it's not like you're saying, so this country is governed by Sharia law and we're going to discover, and it's not like it's the tone. It's the tone of it. Like you're like, and it is governed by Sharia law.
So the tone sets up.
Yeah, the tone, you're setting a negative perception about it. And you know, people who say that, they know exactly what they're doing. So for me, it was pretty annoying, right? I mean, a way a country and a culture chooses to govern themselves, you have to assume it's in the best interest of the people and society, right?
Yeah.
So go with an open mind to understand why, rather than whatever negative perception has been put on your head based on like movies or Hollywood or anything like that. And for me, I mean, that's been my goal since day one, like to change perceptions by showing reality on the ground. Empty canvas, man, when I come to a country. Empty canvas. Just let the people talk. Let society do the work for you. It's easy, right? You don't have to put in all your negativity to base the opinions already in the country. Because anything you say after that, there's already that thought in your head of what you said in the beginning. Mm-hmm. Like I could say like something negative about you to start this podcast and then be like, yeah, but he's been with me for 5 days and it's been great. But then they'll be in the back of their head, yeah, but you started with this. Why? Mm-hmm. So for me, it was just like before they would come to this country, they would always say like all this. It's not a negative, it's just the negative tone of everything you're saying. And it was just kind of annoying for me.
So the setup is important.
100%. Yeah. Like, I mean, like for anything, right? Like your first impressions count.
Yep.
They mean something.
Yes.
So if your first impression of a country is watching someone's YouTube video and the first thing that they say is something negative about that country,
it ruins everything.
It ruins everything. That's in your head, right? So for me, it's very important to me to come to this country with like the similar to I do with any other country that I go to, with a blank canvas and no impressions, no nothing. Just come and see it for myself and let the people do the talking for me.
Mm-hmm. Talking about first impression, mashallah, the first time we met, you're a good observer. Like you mentioned about my family, you mentioned about my son.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned you're that podcaster. So what is your like thought process when you like go into these countries? Do you research A to Z? Like with me, as a podcaster, I like to know less because for me, this is our get to know session. But with you going to a country, doing a documentary, because as you said, like if you've seen a negative video about a country, it ruins everything. So how do you make sure that a video doesn't change your perception about a country?
For me, I think that anyone who says anything about a country usually have
a motive.
A motive, yeah. And I don't have any motives when I travel. My motive is always to understand. And I let that be the driving force behind the work that I do. To seek to understand and to build a connection between different societies in the world. And I think regardless of the differences in our culture and our beliefs, there's a lot of things in life that unite us. And that's love, that's a hope to live a dignified life, to provide for our families, to love and be loved. And, you know, whenever I go to a country and see the differences, those are the things that that connect us all. And I think, Hollywood, mainstream media, whatever you want to call it, has done a disservice by building up these fake walls and barriers between us to make it seem like we're very different in everything that we want and everything that we want to do in life, where it's not. So for me, I always take every opinion and every video that I see with a very big grain of salt, especially if it's one person who's not part of that country doing all the talking. All right? Because I find it really hard to believe, right? And I've been to a lot of countries, right? And I've had a negative experience with an individual, sure. I've had a negative experience at an airport, sure. I've had a negative experience in different aspects, fine. But that does not shape the entire thing, right? Just because you had a bad day doesn't mean you had a bad life, right? Just because you went to a country and you had one negative experience with one individual doesn't make the whole society bad. And wallah al-azim, it was breaking my heart, man. It really, really was breaking my heart when I was connecting with people here, because I know the videos that have been made about this country and people saying, whatever they wanted to say in a negative way about this country. And I see families, children, people, respecting each other, people wanting to, people saying, thank you for coming. Like, really? Like, when I saw these people, like, you're speaking negative about them too. I'm sorry, but if you're making a blanket statement, you're talking about everyone.
Everyone.
You're talking about men, women, children, culture, society, government. You're saying everything. And it breaks my heart, man. Like, and I've been here and I've seen nothing but good. Like, nothing but, like, me and my team were like, let's make an effort to find something. Nah, man, people are chilling, going about their day, happy, welcoming, nice, polite, kind. I know, it was just really heartbreaking, especially when I see like families, like just to have that, like, because and what you have to understand is whenever someone wants to come and visit a country, what's the first thing you do? Google.
Yeah.
YouTube, Google. Let me check what this country out. If the first 5 videos are like, whoa, and it's haram, it's really, really sad, because whether we like it or not, tourism plays a big part of a country's economy and a country's, impact on the world. And for people to go and do that, I just feel it's a shame. Because you can't paint an entire society with a brush just based on a couple of negative interactions and a few days in a country. It's really, really sad. And like I said, people who do that, it says more about you than it does about them.
Talking about people, you have been like, mashallah, very nice. Like, earlier we went to Salat Jum'ah in Masjid Sultan Ammar Ali Saifuddin. And after we finished our Salat Sunnah, after the prayers, we wanted to leave. The masjid was still full. But everyone was taking pictures. You were saying hi to everyone. By the time you were done, the masjid was empty. And like, you have been so wonderful. Like, mashallah. And that is just on camera. I've been with you off camera. And mashallah, I think it proves like why people are following you and why you are successfully building this positivity within your audience. And thank you.
Thank you,
like,
man.
I know you've been saying thank you to the people of Brunei for the hospitality, but you yourselves, mashallah. I mean, it's been a blessing for us, for you to come here. So you've been here for 5 days. What's the most favorite thing so far?
Wow. Like, I feel, first of all, like, we've gotten to the ground. We haven't really stopped. Like, today was the first day we could sleep, and we're in like day 5 or something like that, man. So I'm exhausted.
That is true.
But it's all been incredible. Like I said, as generic as it sounds, it's really been the people, man. There's this energy about this place where people are just so welcoming, so kind. They really, really want to share their culture with the world. They really want you to have the best experience. And that doesn't matter what it is, whether you're in the jungle, whether you're in a restaurant, whether you're, visiting one of the longhouses, whatever it is, they're just so, it means so much to them that you've had a good experience. And there's like literally nothing in it for them. Like, you're not paying, you're not, giving them anything, but they just it just means so much to them that you leave happy, regardless of how big or small that experience is. And that for me is something I'm going to walk away with, because it's been absolutely, it's just my heart is so full right now.
Inshallah.
Alhamdulillah.
Inshallah. All right. You've tasted the local food.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was with you when we ate the durian.
Yeah.
So
that was an experience. Look, I mean, it's an experience. Like it's intense. I think that's the word. Great aftertaste. It's tough in the beginning. I think everyone knows that the smell's a bit strong. I had a Coke afterwards. I was safe. No damage, alhamdulillah. Although a lot of people said don't drink gassy drinks, but we went for where did we go eat after that?
Sushi.
Yeah, we went and had sushi, so I needed like something so.
Yeah.
But durian was really good. The first meal I had was the nasi katok. I really loved that. I feel the best dishes are the simplest dishes, and this was like rice, fried chicken, and a sauce, and you can't really go wrong with that. And they just, it was just really tasty. Went and had the street food. We did it all, man. Beef lung, chicken tail,
Tongkeng.
Yeah,
We call it Tongkeng.
Yeah. All the parts of an animal that I've never tried before. But it was really tasty, alhamdulillah, and I enjoyed it, man. It's been fun.
You've been telling everyone you're so proud that you could eat 2 nasi katok.
Yeah, man. One after the other, man.
after the
Yeah,
other.
we went after it, man. But it was my first meal here, so I was starving.
You didn't eat at the...
In the
on
airplane?
Yeah.
No, the food was... No, actually... No, I had like a bit of soup.
So you slept the entire...
Yeah. I mean, it was like a early morning flight, so I slept at the beginning, and then I had a bit of soup, and then they had like a pizza. It was really tasty, but it was small, so I needed to fill myself up once I got on the ground.
All right. And I remember when we, after you landed, we went to the hotel and I invited you to the musalla, to the surau, and all you said, well, I'm going to have to do tarawih now.
Yeah. No, because we took the flight before Fajr and we landed
Maghrib. Yeah.
So the first prayer was like the day's prayer, so it felt like Taraweeh. But that's what we say, like, astaghfirullah. If you miss a prayer or something because of like traveling, you just say, oh, do you need to pray? I'm like, yeah, Taraweeh. But alhamdulillah, we caught up and then we're back on track. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. You've been to the Jamek, you've been to Masjid Soas. So what was the experience like?
Oh, beautiful, man. And I think what people don't know in a lot of parts of the world is, I mean, obviously we have mosques that you just go pray, and that's the main focus of that mosque, as with any mosque. But there are also a lot of mosques that are anchors of the community. So it's not just a place where you go and pray. It's a place where you go pray. It's a place where you go celebrate. It's a place where you go educate. It's a place where you go discuss. It's a place where a community comes together. It's a place where you learn. It's a place where you preserve history. There's so many aspects of the mosque that don't get shared that much in mainstream media. So for me, it's always heartwarming to see a mosque where there's so much happening in the community and so much to do. So the mosque that I visited here in Brunei, the two main mosques, were just really full of so much life beyond the act of prayer and worship, which I think is really important to share with the world.
Yeah. And I think I enjoyed being with you because I learned a lot too. I did not know Masjid Jamek, the first ever Friday sermon was by the Sultan. I didn't know that.
Yeah, neither did I.
Because we saw the picture and then our tourist guide was like, this is the first ever. I was like, what?
Yeah. I saw you were a bit shocked. I'm like, hold on, you don't know that? But yeah, I mean, it's important to educate and to learn new things about your community every day. And so I really enjoyed visiting the mosque and sharing that aspect with the world.
When we went for your talk at the university, you talked about quitting your jobs. So what did you do? What field were you before you started full-time making content?
Yeah. So before I was a creator, like to go back to college days, I worked on board like the big ships, the oil tankers and the gas tankers.
So you were in the oil industry.
Yeah, shipping industry.
Shipping industry.
Or shipping the oil industry.
All right, shipping
Shipping the oil and gas industry. So that was my first. And I used to work on board ships. I'd do like all types of work. Sweeping, painting, greasing, like cleaning toilets and stuff like that. You know?
Really?
Yeah. I was like the most junior on the ship. Yani. And then after that, I worked in government in the shipping and transportation industry for about 8 years. And then I became a full-time creator. Yani. So
How long has that been?
it's about 7 years.
7 years.
Yeah, 7 years as a full-time creator. It's been amazing, man. I love it. I love just being able to envision something I want to do and going out and doing it without having to get approval from anyone else.
MashaAllah.
It's the best
And that's
feeling
the
in
blessing.
the world. Alhamdulillah, man.
Yeah.
It's like this podcast, right? You didn't need permission. You have your questions.
Yeah.
You put the mics and go.
Yeah. I noticed most of your videos, you speak English.
Yeah.
And you are an Emirati, and basically your mother language is Arab, right? So is it, because, okay, for some context, in Brunei, we can go both ways. We can go English, we can go Malay. But when our content is being watched by our neighboring countries, Malaysia and Indonesia, one of the common things that they would say is that, hey, why don't you speak your mother
Native
language?
language,
Yeah. And they must have their own reason. But
Of course.
what is it important for you to choose English as your main language, and what was like the reasoning behind English? Because like for me, I use English. I have my own reason. Mostly it's more like you can reach out to more people, right?
Sure.
Somebody just like commented like, oh, before you reach out to more people, why don't you like conquer your market first? But I'm curious as to why you chose English as your main language.
Sure. No, for me, it was always important to speak to a global audience. I mean, that was the whole point, right? When I started my channel, I wanted to give the world a real view of my culture and my community. And there were already great creators who were, speaking and making their content in Arabic and speaking to the local audience. So, I mean, for me, that market was already being taken care of by great creators, mashallah. So I thought, like, for me, my goal was, to focus on the international market and English speakers, foreigners who live in the GCC and, around the world, to understand this, like, my religion and my part of the world better. So for me, speaking in English was pivotal to achieving that goal. Because there weren't many creators speaking in English from our part of the world to an international audience. So for me...
So you saw an opportunity there.
100%. So for me, it was an opportunity, but it was also what I was good at. It was like I was much better at engaging with an international audience. So, I leaned into my skill set. I leaned into where I thought I could have the biggest impact. And that's what I chose to focus on. And that's what initially dictated the language that I use for my content.
What did you major in Stanford?
MBA, Business Administration.
Business administration. So you think that in itself helps the progress, the development of your media company?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I learned a lot during my 2 years at Stanford, more so like being surrounded by 400 incredible women and men who are like so smart and, are leaders in their field, alhamdulillah. So for me, it gave me a sense of confidence that to focus on where my skills were strongest, because that's initially what's going to get you to success in one way, shape, or another. So for me, being surrounded by those people, learning from them, learning from the professors, taking a lot of media courses, taking a lot of communication courses, it gave me the confidence that I needed to set out on my own. And it gave me even more confidence to lean into my skill set, regardless of what your skill set is. When you lean into it, when you focus on it, when you nurture it and grow it, you will see some form of success in your life.
So you started 7 years ago. You were all alone.
Yeah.
So obviously now you have a team.
Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, great
but
team.
before you have a team, what do you think your biggest strength in media?
having a strong ability to make an audience feel that I'm talking with them rather than talking to them. If that makes sense.
Yeah, makes sense.
So just just being able to feel that they're just sitting at home talking to me through a camera. I think that's a strength that I've always had, just being comfortable in front of the camera. I think the second probably big strength to have is being able to edit well. I think if you're a good editor, you can take even the worst footage and make it something special, which is a skill set that I think is one of the most powerful skill sets to have now in the current media climate, the ability to edit.
Casey Neistat.
Oh, he inspired a lot of my editing. Casey Neistat was an incredible story editor. And I think people, when they think of editing, they think of animations and sounds and flash. No, for me, the editing is how do you create this beautiful, how do you get all this footage of, for example, 5 days to a week in Brunei, find that line that ties it all together and tell this beautiful story, beginning, middle, and end. I think that skill set, when you have that, it's like magic. It's like literally taking, nothing and making it this beautiful, beautiful story that will live in people's minds and hearts for a very long time. So I love editing, and I love the power that editing has.
So have you got your storyline already? Tomorrow's the last day.
Yeah.
So
no. Well, I know in my heart what the storyline is. Definitely.
Right. But you got enough footage?
I think so.
I think so.
Chef, Sheda's looking at me. She's nodding. Yeah,
Nodding.
More than enough. Yeah, we've been filming nonstop, and but the thing is, like I said, you never know until you actually get in front of that, get in front of the computer, get in front of the footage, and start making the cuts. That it could change. But I think I know what the storyline is. It's a story of, misunderstanding. I think that's what I'm thinking right now. I think Brunei is a country that's misunderstood. Big time. I can't wait. Actually, I can't wait, man.
How involved are you usually in editing?
Very involved. I mean, I think, at the beginning of my career, I was editing myself. I was making all the cuts, doing everything myself, beginning to end, and I loved it. It just took so much time that I couldn't tell as many stories as I wanted to. So now I'm sort of I don't know what they call it, a executive editor. So
somebody handles the initial.
Yeah, cut. And then I'll sit and first of all, I'll view it from a story perspective. Does the story make sense? Then we start making the important cuts, because there could be a part in that video that you loved when you were filming, but in the edit, it doesn't make sense.
In the whole story,
doesn't make sense, although it was good. And it's, I think the term is called killing your darlings.
I was going to say that. I didn't go to film school, but I've heard of the quote.
Killing your darlings. It's tough, man, because you might stay an extra day in a location to get a shot or get a part of the story, and then you go and you look at it, you're like, doesn't work, and you're trying to keep it in, but then when you take it out, you just feel better about the whole video. So for me, I'm involved in that level.
MashaAllah.
Yeah.
So are your content solely monetized by the YouTube, what do you call this?
AdSense.
You do brand deals?
Yeah, we do brand deals. I would say AdSense maybe is 10%.
10%?
It's not that much in the grand scheme of things, yani.
So most of these brand deals is what keeps you going.
Yeah. We try and do entertaining videos with brands, and obviously brands that that will give us creative freedom to tell a story in a fun and engaging way. So I enjoy it.
When you can connect with that kind of brands is
Because when you connect with brands that don't value creativity, it's the hardest work. You become an employee.
I see.
Because they're just don't do this, don't do that, do this, do that, do this, do that.
So you're kind of picky when you pick this.
100%. Yeah, of course, man. We've worked for 7 years. We've built a significant audience. Alhamdulillah, yani. Just to have some brand come and ruin it, yani? No.
I love how you say Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Everything's min fadl Allah, yani. I didn't I'm just the I truly believe, and that's why we engage with our audience the way we are, is yani everything is a blessing from Allah. And the minute that anyone forgets that, especially in this industry, is the minute you start to lose.
Yeah.
So every day I wake up in the morning and I remember and I say, Yani, Allah protect me. I said it's in my prayer. I just say it to myself after every prayer. I say, Allah protect me in the work that I do and never let me forget the blessing of the work that I do. Because like once you get to this point, like I've seen a lot of people forget.
Yeah.
Like yani fame, money,
Definitely.
it makes you forget about how much of a blessing it is and you take it for granted. So for me, I always keep that prayer at the center of me, yani. And
So everything is God's gift.
everything is God's gift. Someone stopping you for a picture is Allah's gift, is Allah's reminders to
That
you.
you need to be there for
Be
them.
there for them. So now we have like a rule. We never say no to someone who wants to talk to me, to someone who wants to take a picture with me. We never say no. Then every single person is a blessing from Allah, yani, of someone who supports your work and Allah and allows you to do the work you do. That's what people in social media sometimes forget. Is it's your audience that are allowing you to do the work. Think about the words there, right? If you don't have the audience, you don't have anything. If you don't have the audience, you can make the best video in the world. If your audience don't like you, don't watch your video, if you don't treat them with respect, if you don't listen to them, if you don't show them how grateful you are, then you've lost. And there's no way to get that back. So for me, since the very beginning, yani, I'm always answering the DMs of our fans, of our audience,
MashaAllah.
responding to comments, showing them how grateful we are, yani, because I truly am. It's one of the greatest honors that I've ever had for all these people to support me. I'm just a dude that makes videos on the internet, man. And for people to stop and say, thank you, I appreciate the work that you do, yani, you made me smile through COVID. These are things that really
MashaAllah,
make it worthwhile. Alhamdulillah.
It's so inspiring.
Alhamdulillah.
And MashaAllah, like I am like at the end of the day, like at the end of our itinerary, right? And I see you like, you just want to go home, but then there's there's a group of people, and then like your face still lit up, and then mashallah, I'm like, this guy. And I think that is what the Bruneians appreciate the most about you. And like we were supposed to leave early.
What, the mosque?
The mosque, yeah. But then like when we left, it's empty.
Yeah. Alhamdulillah, man. Alhamdulillah. It's Allah's blessing, bro.
It's Allah's blessing. I think I always remember like a speech by Khabib, the MMA. Yeah. He said everything is God's gift. And
everything.
Yeah, like you can't say that you got it because you're good. You got it because it's
Allah.
God's. Yeah. Because there's so many people who might work harder than you, but they didn't get anything. And it's important how we respond to these gifts.
Yeah.
Right. And mashallah, I've spent time with you, and mashallah, and so inspiring.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
Man.
I always want to know, like, obviously you watch Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
Because I think like part of the reason why people are doing these misconceptions about Brunei is, first thing is always the clickbait, because everything you see negative about a Muslim country, people are gonna click. Obviously, since Mr. Beast now, every clickbait has to deliver.
100%.
100%. But where do you like kind of like draw the line of like okay and not okay when it comes to like clickbait?
I think if your title / thumbnail is going to hurt the image of someone, even in the slightest, I think that's the line that you shouldn't cross.
All right.
So for me, that's like, for me, I'm not gonna, like, I could easily say I visited, like, for example, I visited the most hated country in the world, and then I talk about how great it is from the very beginning, but
The title
was there.
Yeah, the title. Yeah.
So hold on. So you've told me how great it is, but sorry.
It's all right.
You've told me how great this country is, but hold on a second. Why did you say it was hated? I want to go learn about that now. Let me figure out why this country's hated. That's what I really want to know.
So you're
So
you're
like
setting the negative.
Yeah, everything you've said, and it hurts. It hurts people. That's what people don't understand, man. It's like, hold on. So anyway, like you think that people in the tourism board don't hear about these things, and you think they're not impacted by it. That they don't get a call, someone saying, "Hey, why did this person or this woman, this guy, whoever it is, why did they come to this? What happened?" Well, you never know. So, what if someone got fired for it? Exactly. And you're just, it's just a video. No, man. You're impacting people's lives, people's livelihoods. You know what it takes to come back from something like that, man? Because even, no matter what, like people are going to come back at the end and be like, "Oh, yeah, I remember. Yeah. You're the country that's, why are people saying this about you?" There must be something true to it, right? There must be something true to it, even if there's not. For me, it's like when your titles, when your thumbnails, especially when it comes to travel, when they can have a negative impact on people's lives, that's where you have to
country,
draw. Yeah, countries, you have to draw the line. You have to draw the line there, yani. It's only responsible, yani. So, yeah, for me, that's where I draw the line. I never want, and I get it. You want people to click. You want people to view the video, and then you can change perceptions. Yeah, but if you already have that negative thing that's stuck in the back of people's heads, then what good have you done? Mm-hmm. You've just played into the stereotype.
Just playing to the devils.
Yeah, just whatever work the devil's doing.
Yeah, because the devils, they just put the negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Then,
So, yeah.
MashaAllah, that's a great advice.
Yeah,
I think it's very important now with the world of clickbait.
I wish there was no clickbait, bro. I wish there was no. Sorry, let me take that back. I wish there was no need to clickbait. I wish a beautiful story could be. But the fact of the matter is, as long as
algorithm,
but as far back as history, man. You want to go into a show, a cinema, a movie, buy a book. The front page matters. The title matters. What that book looks like matters. The picture matters. The poster matters. Otherwise, you're not going to watch it. If it's just like a black canvas or a white canvas with just like a name, "Come watch this great movie," be like, what? But if it's like some guy or girl, oh, what's going on there?
Yeah,
and it grabs your attention. So it's always been a part of this industry for as long back as you can think.
Mm-hmm. Do you follow Joe Rogan?
The podcast? I don't listen to it that much. I see clips every now and then.
Yeah, but I don't know if he's the exception. If you see his beginning, he's always like JRE number people. Of course, sometimes you have Elon Musk.
Yeah.
But even the most unknown human being he has, that's his title and it's working. Do you think because of it's him? Or
no, I think two things. I think number one, he's been doing this a long time.
He's the OG.
I think the easiest comparison there is if you look in our video world, Casey Neistat. I don't think he has to worry that much about a title and a thumbnail. Why? Because he has an audience that he's grown over how many years? It's 20 years or something like that. Mm-hmm. Joe Rogan has been podcasting before podcasts were podcasts.
Yeah.
So he's built an audience to the point that he doesn't need to think about those things because his audience are die-hard fans, have grown up with him, have been with him since day one. So I think the more that you focus on building your audience and building your foundation and delivering on your promises, I think the less you have to worry about that stuff.
Are you ever gonna get to that point?
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know if because I have to go into a completely different style of content. So I think the style of content that doesn't depend much on thumbnails and stuff are when it's a creator first content. So what I mean by creator first content is when you watch that content for the creator, regardless of what they're doing. So I mean, Ryan Trahan, I don't know if anyone follows him. Emma Chamberlain. Emma Chamberlain can, speak to you for 50 minutes while she makes tea. And, get 5 million views and people will be watching it, But that's the creator she is. She's a creator first. But I think for me, our team, we fall into the... but then on the other side of the spectrum, it's idea first. Spending 72 hours buried alive. Anyone could do that and you would be interested in watching. You're interested in the idea. I think for us, we fall somewhere in the middle.
Yep,
Like
yep.
people enjoy, seeing Khalid, but seeing Khalid do
stuff.
something.
Yeah.
So we're like 50-50. I don't think I could just turn on the camera and talk for like half an hour about, my favorite coffee, and people will no, I don't think people would watch that. But I think if they saw me buried alive with a coffee, maybe, But I think we fall in like 50-50 creator idea.
Maybe 70 you.
I hope so. Because it's easier, man. Like
Yeah.
if you're just people watch it just for you, they don't care about what you're doing. It definitely makes life a little easier.
Yeah. Talk to me about that. I think you and Shafaq spent 16 hours on a boat.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that. The experience, like.
I don't want to talk about it, man. This was a nightmare. Remember, we went on a fishing boat in India, and we wanted to understand, like, where we were in Kerala was like one of the main trades, or the fishing trade there. And I decided to spend a day on a fishing boat with the fishermen.
All right.
And it was the hardest video I ever had to make, man. I was seasick 2 minutes in. And
2 minutes in.
yeah, oh yeah, it was like right away. The seas were rough and it rained like 6 times. I got like soaking wet and dried off because it would like rain and then the sun would come out. The rain, the sun would come out, and all that, and we didn't end up catching any fish, man.
Not even.
Not even. We caught a couple of fish, but that was like to cook, like for lunch. But I couldn't even eat because I was like very, very seasick.
And there was no turning back.
No, they only go back at the end. Like it got to a point where I was thinking, should I just swim for it? Like, should I just jump in the water and swim home? But it was a tough video, but one that was like super meaningful because it got to show an aspect of people's lives that we don't see every day.
Yeah, and then I'm sure you've built now relationship with your team.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of you spending days,
Yeah,
you have a great team.
Alhamdulillah, man.
Mashallah.
I'm blessed.
I was talking to your team and mashallah.
Yeah.
How do you find great team?
It's luck, man. I swear to you. Like I
keep hearing that.
I wish there was a skill set, but like the thing is with this industry, you don't know until people start working with you. Like I could say forever, I'm a great editor, I'm a great this, I'm a great that. And then at the end of the day, they come and they don't even know how to use any of the software. It's just like they're learning on the go, But for me, I think the way to find great people is not to focus on their skill set as much as their willingness to
Learn?
the word that I want to use is that they take pride in their work. Like that they want to do that work and they want to be proud of what they've done. Regardless if it's for what it's for. It's like I can go to sleep and I'm proud. I really am. I did great work today, and regardless of what anyone thinks or how it performs, I would put my name against this work. That's what I do. With every video that I publish, I'm putting my name against that work. And I'm publishing it because I'm proud of it. And the only way to have that end result is to have me be surrounded by people that do their work to a point that they're proud of it. That they go, yeah, I did that. Yeah, I organized that. Yeah, I made that happen. Yeah, I edited that. So for me, it's really luck. It's really luck, like having great people around you. And for me, it's important for me. Like I have 2 jobs. Like people don't understand that. Like the second job that I have is to make the videos. The first job I have is to take care of my team, to make sure that they're happy, to make sure that they're growing, to make sure that they're enjoying their work, because I know that everything is temporary. As much as I love Sheda, as much as I love Shafaq, as much as I love every member of my team, even the ones that you haven't met here, I know that it's all temporary. I know that they're all going to go on to do incredible things in their life beyond working with me. So my goal is simple, is that the time that they are with me has shaped and built the foundation for the success that they have in the future.
Mashallah.
That when they are like 10 years from now, they'll be like, where did you really grow the most? Where did you really have the best growth in your career? And they'll look back and say, it was when I was working with Khalid. Like, that is when I grew. That is when everything after that became easy, because I grew so much and I worked so hard that everything's just like easy to me. So for me, that's how I look at everyone's time with me. Like, I want it to be the hardest work you do, because we're all working hard. We all want to do special things in our life while having the most fun. And it's always tough to balance it. But for me, as long as I've always got my priority on taking care of my team and making sure that I'm happy and making sure that they're happy, for me, then I can always go to sleep at night going, Alhamdulillah. So yeah, I don't know if I answered the question.
You did answer the question. You did answer the question. That's so inspiring to hear.
Thank you, man.
I'm gonna take that advice, actually.
Yeah, man. Like, take care of your team. You know, I mean, I don't think people, like, you know, because for me, when I see, I think this is how a lot of people that want to build teams is like, I don't see Shafaq as, you know, my team member and my editor. Or I don't see Sheda as, you know, someone who manages, you know, an audience of 20 million and all these platforms that comes with so much responsibility. I don't see her as that. Like, I look at her as she is someone's daughter. She has, you know, she's the wife to someone as well. She has a family, you know, and I see Shafaq as, you know, someone who's trying to provide for his family, someone who's trying to build a foundation for his family. You know, and when you look at people like that, like I think a lot of corporations, they dehumanize it. Like, these people, they don't realize that these are people that are going home to families, that are trying to build success for their families, for their children, for their future. And when you see them like that, when you see them as these, like, when you see I don't know what the word I'm looking for is. It's just, I feel like when I was in a lot of corporate, they just look at you as your job title. And they forget that there's a human behind that job title. That there's a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, whatever. But there's a person that's going to go home and that wants to do good things in their life. So you need to be that resource for them. Mm-hmm. And you need to always view them in that way. And I feel when you do that, you have a resource, and I don't know if I'm saying the right things, to be honest. In all honesty, I just feel like a lot of companies I used to work with, they dehumanize a lot of people, and for me, that they're my team. We don't say family because our families are at home. We're a team, and we're there to protect each other and to make sure that we all have everything that we need to succeed in the future. And I think if more companies did the same, they'll find that they have people that really want to do their best work with them, and they'll see everything grow from that.
Because like I said, the relationship you have with your team, like, mashallah.
Yeah. And I think for me, because again, these are people that are dedicating their lives to our dream.
Yeah.
It's the most powerful thing in the world. I mean, think about that. Think about someone showing up to say, your dream is now my dream, and we're going to dream together, and we're going to build together. It's the greatest honor. Wallah. And the sooner people realize that, the easier it will get for them to surround themselves with good people. And my team are tight. Like, we're like 7 people. That's it. I don't need a huge team. Like, I want to surround myself with a small team of incredible, talented human beings. And that's probably the best guarantee of success.
So you said 7 people. Do they have a specific, or are they an all-rounder who can do everything?
Yeah, I think everyone can do everything. Like, Sheda's a content creator herself, extremely talented at what she did before she even joined me. Shafaq's a content creator as well, and he's my editor. So are the other 2 editors. They're incredibly, talented and entertaining editors. My COO, Nasser, who was my agent before he became my COO, he managed multi-million-dollar deals with different brands. Jai was who's basically my sidekick. She manages my entire life. she knows everything that I'm gonna do that day before
She's
I do
always
it.
in your video too, right?
Jai, she's
yeah.
in our videos. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jai's in our videos. Yeah, but like I'll wake up in the morning and like I'll think of something that I need, and I'll wake up and it will be like outside my room or something, like my hotel. Like when we're traveling, it's just like all there. Like I'll wake up and like, for example, I'll wake up and like I wouldn't want a coffee that day. I'll just want a tea. Then I'll get like a message, hey Khalid, the tea's outside your room.
Mashallah.
Yeah.
Mashallah.
So like she's like my sidekick, mashallah. And that's pretty much our team, right? So and we all like love each other. We all support each other. We all understand that we're just a team. I think when you join a company that calls themselves family, I think you run away from that. But like for me, we're a team. We're like a sports team. You know, you need to all support each other, lift each other up, and you win and you grow together. And the one thing that I always talk about with my team is because of the nature of our team and because of the nature of our industry, if Sheda fails, for example, everything fails. Like you need to understand that. Like Sheda is in charge of all our channels, right? So if a video doesn't go up, or if she doesn't get that video and it doesn't go up and she doesn't have her content for the day, it's not. I can't like. She's not gonna sit there and be like, yeah, you failed. No, we all failed because Shafaq's the work before her didn't get published, and I, as the head of the channel, didn't get the work. So Shafaq needs to support Sheda. I need to support Sheda. I need to support Shafaq. Sheda needs to support Shafaq. Sheda needs to support me. And our success is so linked.
Yeah.
It's all linked. So in a lot of companies, people will wait for someone to fail. Be like, yeah, you failed. How does it feel? I'm like, well, maybe don't you feel like crap now? Because the work didn't get done. So that must have an impact on you. So for me, what's important is that we all understand that all our successes are so tightly linked. And I think that's one of the beauties of being in this industry and having a small team.
So going back a bit, what on YouTube, what do you do if a video does not perform as well as you thought it would be?
Learn from it and do better on the next video.
Not changing the thumbnails, not changing the title.
We'll try a few of those things, yani, but at the end of the day, I want to be proud of that video. That's it. Yani, I mean, at the end of the day, I can't control everything. Yani,
so you do change the title.
Yeah, we'll change the we'll try changing the title, try changing the thumbnail. But at the end of the day, a bad story is a bad story, and sometimes you get it wrong. But the beauty of being in social media is you just try again tomorrow.
There's no hard feelings, and you won't regret it.
No, first of all, if I posted that video, that means that I believed in it.
Because you said it went, like when you post, we said it off record that when you post something, it's gone through reviews.
Yeah. And so I was just like we believed in it. And look, and you can't be right every single time. So for me, it's like, all right, we posted it up. We're proud of it. It didn't do what we thought it was going to do. Let's learn. What went wrong? What was the issue? And for me, I think it was like a friend of mine, Ammar from Yes Theory. He said something that was really cool. I don't know if I'm quoting it word for word. He's like, don't be obsessed with the end product. Be obsessed with the process.
Mashallah.
So don't be obsessed with the video at the end. Be obsessed with the process, because 9 times out of 10, if the video didn't do well, if the product didn't do well, it's because something went wrong in the process. So if you obsess about the process, like how did we get from idea to end video? Okay, now that it didn't do well, what went wrong here? Did we not have the story prepared well enough? Did we not have our title and thumbnail fixed? Did we not go and visit enough places? Did we not meet enough people? What went wrong? And what do we need to improve? And I feel for me, that's the best way of looking at the industry of being a YouTuber, being a video creator, is getting to a process that allows you to make the best work. Wow. That's from Ammar, by the way. Good.
You're friends with Ammar?
Like we connect each other each other a lot on social media.
A big fan of Yes Theory.
They're great, man. They've done amazing work. Everything from their storytelling to their editing to the way that they overcome their fears. I just have a lot of respect for them and what they've built. And Ammar is an incredible human being. Like the guy is just a real, like he has this joy of life and
Mashallah.
just a willingness to go above and beyond. And you know, the first time I met him, I'll never forget. We just like hugged for like a few minutes. You know, it was just one of those. I think he's a great human being. Yeah,
Mashallah.
and yeah, those are his words. So just to quote him.
All right. I have great stories to tell people about you. Like I
Thank you,
think I will have another podcast of myself just like telling people like how good the whole experience was with you. Like I experienced firsthand like oh my God, you know, like I'm
Thank
like
you, man.
blessings.
I would say keep doing what you're doing, Brunei. I mean, you're doing all the right things. And you have a culture that's rich. You have a people that are kind and welcoming. And you have a country that is beautiful. And you have the foundation for all that is good. And what I always say is people can talk, people can put negative, but at the end, Allah always makes things right and the truth always comes out.
Mashallah,
Whether that's through
mashallah.
me, whether that's through someone else, whether that's through you, the truth will always find itself. And that's why I think it was Mufti Mink would always say, let people say whatever they want. Allah will make it right. Allah will show the truth of who you are. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, maybe in a year from now, but eventually who you are, what you stand for will show in front of the world. So for me, to Brunei, you're doing what you need to do. And it's been an absolute honor to connect with the people here, to experience the culture, to experience nature, to experience day-to-day life, to meet the families, to see how, you know, love and joy and peace are such a central part of the things that you do. So keep doing what you're doing, and the world will see you for who you are, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Whether that's through me, whether that's through someone else, and we just hope we can be a part of that. But you're like my heart and my soul is so full right now. Alhamdulillah, yani I'm gonna go back just with a full heart. It's been nothing but love, and yeah, that's it for me, man.
One last question. What's your favorite food in Brunei?
Was it the chicken tail? I don't know. It was
No?
no. Yes. Yes. No. No. It would have to be the nasi katak.
Mashallah.
Yeah. It would have to be that because that was my
the
first.
most basic
it was
thing.
so like it was just when you're starving and it hits the spot.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what it did for me, man.
Yeah.
Like I was
mashallah.
like yes, and that's why I ordered another one.
Yeah.